everyone, welcome to our coaching call. Here we go. We have 6 coaches on the call tonight. The youngest one is MIA. We get to see his dragon. Maybe his dragon's filling in. Nope, there he is. Awesome. So here is our team of influencers, our fit coaches. Tonight's topic, we're going to talk about mindset, particularly expectations that we have on ourselves, words that we say to ourselves towards expectations. Because when we're on a journey and we set a goal and we work towards that goal, along the way, we find so many unexpecteds as well. And some people can very quickly get down because it's not playing out how they expected, when in reality, they're getting exactly what they need. Okay. So let's talk about expectations and going into certain things and all that good stuff. This is a topic I know that we have a lot to talk about, and we can go off on many different tangents. So Eric, this is a topic that you thought was important for us to speak on tonight. So why don't you start it off and give us your perspective on this?
My perspective on this. What is it again? I forgot.
You made up the topic.
I know, but then it got reworded.
Yeah, the expectations. I mean.
Okay.
Yes.
So sometimes when you set expectations, for instance, say like on weight loss or a bench press goal, or I'm going to go to this party and it's going to suck because there's people there that that I don't particularly want to see right now because they don't fit into my my goal setting and my mindset that I'm in right now. You miss out on all the wonderfulness because you already have a perspective and a goal. So even though your goal was, I'm going to go to this party, it's going to suck, it could turn out amazing, but you missed the first half of the party because you're in your own head like, oh, I'm just waiting for something to happen. Or you're like, I want to be 180 pounds because you're 200 pounds. And then you get your eyes set on 180, 180, 180. So you drop from like 200 to 197, 98 to 96. And along the journey, you're missing that all of those great leaps and bounds, because not only are you dropping weight, but now you're dropping food, that bad habit foods. So instead of, instead of looking at, wow, instead of hammering a whole bag of chips, I only had a half a bag this time. That's like craziness. You miss out on the little things that are so monumental that keep you, think of them as like pebbles when you get momentum forward, and you get the littlest pebble that can keep you from rolling back. It's like you get a big ass 18-wheeler and they put a chalk that's 6 inches by 5 inches and the thing doesn't roll away, right? So you miss out on all these mini little monumental pebbles and steps that you've taken, that if you just realize them and you just grasp them and embrace them, that they would keep you, when you start stumbling back, they'd stop you and be like, whoa, cool, I've got my balance, I stumbled, now we're going to push forward. And you go forward 5 steps, and maybe you roll back twice, but you hit another pebble, because this time I didn't go out drinking with my friends because it's not part of who I want to be right now, because I got a goal. And so sometimes when you set expectations, you miss out on all the beautiful flowers in the pasture.
It's true. And you brought up missing out. And I'm gonna bring you up here, Nicole, because it just brings me back to the beginning of our challenge, right? And how you said that you didn't give it everything because you didn't feel like doing it. Your mind wasn't in it yet. And then, but once you started doing it, you're like, wow, I missed out on a whole first week of this. Imagine what I could have accomplished. And, that's the first thing I thought of is mindset going into something, which I believe is what you were describing. Yeah, you do. You miss out on the miracles that can happen, the wonderfulness, or collecting those pebbles that can keep your momentum going forward. Absolutely. So I love that. Very cool. So since I picked on Nicole, I didn't really pick on you. I told the story. Why don't you talk a little bit about expectations, mindset wise?
Well, going back to the challenge, I think, I kind of had a number in my head thinking that I had like a goal weight, and I'm not sure where it came from. I think just kind of hearing that for a certain height you should be within this range. And even though I've been like more athletic and muscular, I've always fallen into like the higher end of the BMI scale, even though I really wasn't overweight. But so I hit a certain number on the scale, and I thought it was what I wanted. And come to find out, I didn't like how I was then either, because it was too lean and not enough like muscle, and it was just not easy to maintain either. So you might think that you want a certain number on the scale, or you want to reach a certain place, and sometimes you have to get there to realize it's not what you want. But yeah, so now I learned it for myself, but no regrets.
Yeah, expectations of going into something and what it's going to look like. And my journey was similar to that too, because I told my coach I wanted to be 130 pounds. Being on my journey, halfway through, I was like 132 pounds before I started maintenance. And I was like, you know what? My body has transformed so much. Like, I'm happy with the shape it's changing. I'm leaning out really nice. And I realized, I don't care about 130 anymore. I really don't care about that goal. I don't even care about the number, because my expectation of being 130 was, for me, I guess, to say that I was 130 pounder, that was something that made me feel comfortable. Like I had to be 130 pounds to be okay with my body. But I'm now learning I'm actually higher than 130 pounds. I'm not much lower than my starting weight, but I've gained so much muscle. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I'd be okay if I go back to my starting weight, knowing that I'm much leaner and I have much more muscle and the shape of my body has changed. And I'm okay with that. The number, my expectation for hitting that number, what it was going to look like, again, is completely different than halfway through this journey or on this journey of really what I do want. At first I was disappointed, but then I'm like, why are you disappointed over a number? A number shouldn't rule you, right? It shouldn't determine who you are. That's all here. That's all here. But yes, very similar, Nicole, for sure. Dan, what about you? What's your perspective here?
I have actually a couple things. So for me, working out, I feel like I've been doing it so often these past couple years that it's almost like habitual for me now. If I go a day without exercising, I feel like something's wrong. So that's one thing. If you're looking for something along those lines of, it kind of just comes if you're very habitual with it. Another thing with mindset is that almost lost it. I think I forgot.
That's
Come
okay.
back to me.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Alex, perspective on mindset and expectations. What you got for us?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh, hold on. Dan remembers. Yeah. We want him to lose it again. Hold on.
Okay. I remember. I was gonna say, most of the successful people in the world don't go around saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm never gonna be able to do this. They have that mindset that they're gonna eventually achieve it.
Yeah. It's limiting. If you tell yourself you can't, whether you tell yourself you can do something or you can't do something, you're going to be right. Because subconsciously, human nature wise, we are going to support whatever we say. We don't even know it half the time. So if you say you can't do something, you're right. You will not accomplish that. You will not be able to do it. But as soon as you go into the mindset of, I can do that, I can achieve, it's that belief. That's that inner power that we create in people inside this program. It's that belief, like, I can do this. And guess what? You are. You are going to do it. You are going to accomplish this, you know? And when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed one morning and you say, what a shitty day, guess what? It's going to be a shitty day. But if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you say, you know what? I'm going to make today the best day possible. You're going to have a hell of a lot better day. And maybe the same events would happen, but it's the mindset going into that day. We have control over that mindset. We have control over the mindset when someone says something to us that we don't 100% agree with, whether we are going to let it take us down or we're going to send it right back to them and say, that doesn't define me. You're not taking my power. Because if you let it emotionally sit with you, they've won. And that's never a good thing, because you give your power up every time you allow someone else to win. Alex, go ahead. What's your perspective on this mindset, this expectation thing?
You know, I think there's two different types of mindsets, right? You have someone who has a fixed mindset versus, say, a growth mindset. I think the person with the fixed mindset constraints to their own beliefs and thoughts and so they'll give up easily in life all the time, versus like someone who has a growth mindset. They find freedom in their thoughts and beliefs because they believe in themselves that they can accomplish anything, right? And I think that just really comes down to figuring out who you really are and what's important to you. And if you're really serious about losing weight or adding muscle or just having a healthier lifestyle, then it just starts with a belief that you could do it. And I think once you figure that out, then the next step is going to be then figuring out how to do it daily, right? And that's where that compound effects comes into play. There's days that you want to go to the gym and there's days that you don't. 95% of the time you don't want to go to the gym. So that's the struggle that most people have, is that they don't want to go, so they give up. And that's when showing up is like 100%, right? Even if you go and you only do like 5 minutes of a treadmill, at least you got up and drove and showed up, or got on your phone and did the workout your coach sent you, because at least you're going to show up and give it some type of effort, right? And I think that's anything in life. So for me, having a growth mindset is so important, because I do believe in my thoughts and I have 100% belief in who I am. Even though I may suck at it, I'm still going to try to figure it out. And that's kind of that's how people grow, and you learn and you see what you're able to accomplish. And once you accomplish one thing that is a challenge for you, then you get the bug of wanting to do more. I remember my first Spartan race. I was so scared because I haven't ran since college, and it was a 5-mile Spartan race. And I just wanted to do it under 45 minutes. And there was like 5,000 people. And I did it in like 47 minutes. And I was really impressed that I actually was able to run straight for 5 miles and do the courses. And that's what kind of then triggered to want to try different things, right? So you never know what is going to trigger an inspiration in you to get you addicted to going and doing new things or to work out. So I don't know, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, for sure. There's been many times I haven't wanted to work out. And I know you can relate to this, Nicole, because you've spoke about it. Sometimes your best workouts are the times that you force yourself to go. And I find I do this little trick too. If I don't feel like working out, I'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to walk for 5 minutes. And the walk for 5 minutes turns into, you know, I can do this for 15 minutes. You know, I'm going to go lift some weights now. And your momentum builds. If you just start that one little step, it can build into something even greater than you expected. You know, because you go into it with very little expectations. So anything you do above and beyond that, you're like, whoa, I did that. you amaze yourself, but you go in with these huge expectations. Like, I got this 10 exercise list of 10 rounds and I'm going to kill it today all in an hour. And then you like tire yourself out. You got 3 rounds in, you're dying. You're like, wow, I really sucked. When in reality, if I gave you the same exact workout and said, do 2 rounds of this in 1 hour and you killed 3 rounds, you'd be like, wow, I did really good. Sometimes you just can't win, you know, when you set yourself up for failure. And we do that a lot to ourselves.
Have you ever heard the quote, a bad attitude is like a flat tire. Until you change it, you can't go anywhere. Right?
Yes.
And that's a quote that's always stuck in my head because, man, we always get in bad attitudes based on just what life throws at us and how it affects us. But it's how fast you bounce back from that feeling or that emotion that was created by something that you saw or heard, right? Yeah, so it's kind of, don't let a bad attitude stop you from moving forward.
Yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice to have a bad attitude. It's a choice to let someone affect you so much that it changes your whole physical being, which is attitude. Your energy goes sour. Your body language goes sour. Your facial expressions, you know, that is a choice. Every day things happen in life. But most people are like, oh, this happened to me. No, this is happening for you. Everything that happens is happening for us. And if we can look at that happening thing for us and see that there's a lesson in it, or there's a silver lining, or it's testing us to choose again, to be more in control of our feelings, our emotions, our environment, ourselves, you will have a much brighter, happier life. Your expectations on what's going to happen is going to kind of come back to being in the moment instead of trying to control the future. That's where anxiety comes from, you know, and all these expectations we put on certain things. Stay in the moment. How can you be your best self right now in the moment? How can you make the best choices for yourself no matter what's happening for you? That is our choice. That is our power, not to give it away to someone else and let them affect us. And yeah, it's not easy. It's a practice. It's an everyday practice. But it is definitely worth the fight for it. The awareness.
The longest journey starts with the first step. I love that quote.
Yeah.
And it's great to have goals, but along with your goals, you need to have targets. Because every target or checkpoint, whichever way you want to look at it, is a milestone that you can look back on and be like, well, damn, I've been this far. You know, why stop now? It's like if you were to go on a 5-mile run with no markers. When you get halfway through it, if you didn't know how far in you were, you'd be like, and you were tired, you'd be like, F this, I'm done. I got to be close to 5 miles. That's probably like 4.5. I'm good with eating a half a mile. You know, but there's a marker. You get to the halfway point, and you're like, well, either I got to run halfway back or I can run halfway forward. So I might as well continue, you know? So it's great to have a goal, because a goal is maybe a goal shouldn't be something that you're going to obtain this year or maybe in the next 5 years. It should be something that you're always should be striving to be for a better goal. And not because you're unhappy, but you should, how do I word this? You should have a hero, and your hero should be yourself in 5 years. That way when you get there, you're like, oh, well, damn, I got this far, but I'm still not good enough because my hero is me 5 years better. Because in 5 years, I'm going to grow more. In 5 years, I'm going to have this. And you get there and you're like, nope, 5 more years. And always growing, always knocking off targets, striving for the goal that you'll never get to, because as you grow, your goals change.
They do.
And maybe someday your goal from 5 years ago is a target for this year because you got a 5-year goal because it changes because you have a family now, or you have a child now, or you have a sick parent that you need to take care of. Love the moment, love your targets, and crush your goals that you never obtain because you should always be progressing.
Yeah, that first step on the longest journey is going to be the hardest step too. A lot of people think they have this expectation that the hardness in the beginning is going to be the hardness their whole life. And this is something I want to bring up. Like, people think that their comfort zone is easy, but we know that comfort zones are not easy because we're not happy. There's a lot of things that we struggle with in our comfort zone. It's just a comfort zone. It's hard to get out of because we have this human need of homeostasis internally. And that's why it's so hard to get out of our comfort zone, because we're always being pulled back to that homeostasis, you know. But that is also why we light up so much too when we step outside of our comfort zone. And so I do want to say something, because I created the outline today. I created the marketing for it today. So there's no stopping this. The marketing company is going to start advertising this in February. I created the whole outline of it today. And we are rolling out a mindset program. I believe I'm calling it Mindset Reset. And it's a whole 28 video lessons with 28 activities to do to help reset, reframe, and kind of reboot that mind, that operating system that we operate. And this is for anyone from depression to just wanting to level up in life. It is a way to get you to spark that inner power. So I'm really, really excited about that. That will be out sometime. I don't have a date yet, but I just wanted to talk about that. And you guys are all the first ones to hear about this. No one knows about this. Now us 5 know, and anyone watching this now knows that, yep, we are launching our first mindset, purely focused on mindset program. The beauty of it is you get to do it at your own pace, redo lessons as you need to, and it's highly encouraged. And do it over and over again until you get the final result. Because every time you go through it, you're going to improve even more and more. So I'm really excited to release that. And like I said, the marketing company is already working on marketing it in February. So it's happening, man. Really cool. Love it. And with a perfect day. Yep, to announce that, talking about mindset and expectations for sure. Cool. Anything else we want to add?
I really, truly hope everybody has an amazing evening. And as Alex would say in the morning time, we'll call it make your evening a masterpiece, and call somebody that you love that you haven't spoke to in a while and let them know how much you love them. And that's straight trademarked by Alex.
Yep. Look at
Every
that.
morning he tells us that.
Look at that impact you're having, Alex. We're repeating your lines now.
Oh man, I don't know what to say now.
You prepared a speech?
Well, I just want to thank Eric for setting me up for that, and appreciate you.
I love it.
But yes, everybody should always call someone you haven't spoken to in a long time that you've been thinking about, and don't allow the fear of picking up the phone hold you back from filling your heart of joy and memories. People are scared to pick up the phone today, and we should actually be picking up the phone a lot more and calling those that we care about that we haven't spoken to in a long time. Just let them know that you've been thinking about them, you care about them, and that right there can go a long way and change someone's entire day, week, or it can also change someone's life because of that.
Sure can. Great advice, Alex. Thank you for that, for sure. Great call today, everyone. Thank you for being here and participating. Thank you for your wonderful insights. Anyone watching this, I hope you got some really fantastic nuggets from our call today, and we inspired you to think and ask questions. If you have any questions, you know how to get to us. Right inside our app, you can find your team of coaches right through Messenger. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, at the Fit Club Gym, or at Under the Influence 365. You can stalk our personal profiles. We love it all. Why not? Until next time, guys, keep rocking it. Thanks for joining us. Adios, everyone. Peace out, and have a great night.